I'm here with my buddy Mad Magic, and we're gonna do a deck profile. The red Kagurabachi deck with old Shishiro at the main helm. This is a pretty popular deck. We've seen a lot of people starting to get some hype on, but I want to do a deck profile with my buddy, so that way we can try and put some more deserving credit to this particular deck. He did play recently in the last Rumble Rama event. I think he went 3-2 and got sixth place, so a pretty decent showing. He did have a couple bricks, but I know a lot of people have been asking about this deck, so we kind of want to do a deck profile and just kind of tell. I'll let him explain, why he's running each copy of every card, what they do, and then after we go through the deck profile, we'll just have like a little bit of a like matchup spread into the meta decks. But just go ahead and say hey, man. Tell everybody where they can follow you. Do a plug real quick, and then we'll get into the deck profile.
Yeah, hello. I'm Mad Magic, and my YouTube channel is Mad capital M Magic capital MUA, both of those capitalized. And been starting to get back to the YouTube and trying to record videos all about these decks and how I love playing them. This is a really good game, and we're going to talk about the zero cost first, and of course the draw one pitch one. You always need these in your deck. It's always good filters. Having them at a four of course.
Tells the consistency of the decks.
Yeah.
Interesting that red has one, right? A lot of red color decks don't get to have such a good effects. Typically, like a mainly blue and green thing to help with consistency. So to see a red deck get a draw one trash one is really good.
Yep. And now we're gonna head to the second zero cost. Run this at a 4 because the active trigger. So actives are always good, and it's a Toto. It's a name target for some of the effects on my later cards I'll introduce. But it's always good to have active triggers, and you want all the zeros you can.
And it's a 2000 BP, notably, so
Yep.
it can come up to really make some good trades, and I think a lot of matchups, especially at the moment.
And in some situations, you can buff it to a 3K,
Yeah.
and if you have both of them on the field, you can bump it to a 4K.
Yeah.
So that's very. Then you got Hikari. It's just an add to hand. It's a raid target for the Hikari raid, which is crazy what it
Card's
does.
good.
Because you gotta run that at 4 of, and you're not trying to brick, which happened to me in my third game against
That
yellow.
that that particular Hikari is a promo card, right? Like you can't get this
Yep.
one in the set. You have to get it from the tournament packs that like your local game
Yep.
stores and stuff will have, right? So this particular one, if anyone tries to get their hand on it, you will probably have to trade for it. And I think it's going for like $3 each, so it's not like a super cheap card, but you will need it. It's pretty essential for the deck to have a zero drop raid for your raid target.
Yep. Then we got the one cost Chichiro.
That card's so good.
I run that at 3 of because I was trying to fit space for more three double gens, and usually they run it at a 4, but I run it at 3 because trying to get that double gen, trying not to brick.
And
Which
that's the win play, draw one, place one from your
yep,
hand to the
got one,
sideline, no trigger, right?
and it's
Yeah.
a 2500.
Comes up. The 2500's
Yep.
good stat.
I buffed it to a 3K, and I was going against the red Sinji deck, and he hit the color trigger out of life, and he couldn't kill it.
That's funny.
It's crazy. And then we got the 2-drop hook card. I think this is one of the best cards in the deck, besides the rays, of course. It's good filters. You can filter pretty much through 6 cards and see what you're gonna get. But it's when played, look at the top 3, put up to 1 under him, and place the rest on top of the deck in any order. And it's an active trigger, 3K.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. I really like this card, man. But
Did it ever come
think
up in a game where you weren't able to do the search because you didn't have one of the bodies up? Should be almost never, right? Because don't you have to
no,
have, yeah, like you
no,
have to have the Shishiro or
yeah,
Toga, which is
it,
you run so
it's
many
never.
Shishiros, it's like almost
Yeah,
not gonna be possible to not have one on the
yeah.
board somewhere.
The only different name is we'll get to her. She's right here. But
Mm-hmm.
next card is 2 of the step cards. Has a draw trigger and it says during my turn, all characters gain step.
Which is
I
so
run this
good.
at 3 costs with double gen. It's a 3K, but I usually don't put this on the front line unless things get bad.
Did you ever use the effect in the tournament that let
No,
you give
I
other people
no.
step or no?
No, I never used it.
Never
Not one.
used it. You'd think that'd be a more impactful effect though, like giving other people step, himself step, but guess you could use it if it was like a 2 drop 2500, maybe it'd be a little more useful, right? Because then you could probably throw it on the front line and do something with it. But it being a
Yeah.
3 drop makes it a little bit harder to really try to get any damage in with it early on.
Another Chichiro. 3 cost, double gen, active trigger, 3K.
That art is crazy.
Yeah, I call this a blocker. This is a blocker. When attacking, I can put one face down card underneath this card and put it into my graveyard, and it gains 2,000. So then the way you get a card under him is when blocking, you pit. So you block, and then you pitch 2 cards from your hand, and it gains 1,000. And you also put the top card of your deck underneath him.
It's pretty good.
It's
So it
pretty
ends up
much a
being
block.
a 5K blocker, right? When blocking,
And a
game
5K.
2, yeah, and then when attacking, 5K. But it costs resources, but 5K is a 5K body.
Tell you this, it's good. It came up in my first game, blocking out, trying not to die to the big boy.
Yeah.
Then we got one of the most essential cards in the deck. It's really good because you're doing a lot of pitching with your Chichitos, and she's a double energy. Add the hand. You're pretty much gonna see her all game. But whenever you sideline a card off of effect of a Chichiro, either the 2 drop or the 5 drop, you're able to switch this to resting and add that Chichiro back to your hand, or Toto or Hikari. It's one of those that got to be pitched off the abilities.
So it's like the value piece of the deck. This is like the main card that keeps you from losing a ton of hand advantage when you go to
Yep.
trash. So a lot of your like trash 2 effects will really just be trash 1. You do have to have the 2 cards in your hand to trash, but then this particular card lets you get at least 1 resource back. So if as long as you have her on the board, most of your effects that trash 2 should only be trash 1 because you're getting one of the cards back.
Yeah, but it's usually, yeah, because this is the double block, but we'll get to that. We're going to talk about Hikari right now. One of my favorite cards of the deck.
That's the best card in the deck.
You gotta be, dude. Gotta be. Okay, when played, place top 2 cards of your deck underneath him, or choose one character in your opponent's front line and move it to your energy
It's
line.
so busted.
And this came up against Red Eva. In my first game, I pushed the character back, and then he lost another Ray that he couldn't use. You know, he had to replace. He had to get
Yeah,
it
had to
out
go
of
to
here.
removal. Yeah, it didn't go to the sideline, so he couldn't use it.
Then, if on frontline, active main, place up to one face down card underneath this character. It can't be underneath no other character. This character, and add it to your hand.
It's pretty good. It replaces itself.
Pretty much. And now this card right here, Toto. My God, this card's dumb.
It's busted.
It's my first 2 games. It came up real in clutch, but my last 2 games I lost in a row. He didn't come up one time. Not one time to place into the front line and do all his mess. But so basically, I have to have Kari and Chichiro on the front line, and I have require red energy. And if I meet those conditions, I can play him, set the active onto the front line. But I have to bounce one character
Mm-hmm.
to the bottom or the top of my deck, and I get to choose. And he comes in active. And so on curve, if you have a final or anything, you can place bodies and then get that extra attack in. So you're hitting somebody for 3 or even 4 at some occasions.
I would say this is like one of the more important cards to see, like if you're gonna like win a game, because it's the free tempo that the deck. It's like the payoff you get for using trash effects and having 2 of the same names on the field, but being able to play a 4 cost to your front line for free AP, but still needing to have the required energy. It's just really good. Now, like a lot of your attacks, instead of being 4 or only 3 at that turn, you get a free body on the board, and he's really, really good for sure.
It's a good card, dude. This came up multiple times, but my last 2 games, I didn't. I seen him, but he had 3 color triggers in life, and they just did nothing.
Did it? We didn't talk about the first part of the Hikari, but did it ever come up where you feel like you had a Hikari in your hand? Because I've seen other people share their lists and they only run like 3 of this card because of that. Like you can only raid if you only have Chichiro or Toga, but I don't really feel like that's a big issue
I
with the card. It's so
I
busted.
always I always meet that condition.
Yeah, it's almost always.
If it said both, then
Yeah, that'd
it
be
would be.
tough. That'd be tough.
It says or. It says or. So I always have him on field. Always, either one. If not, I'm doing something wrong.
Yes.
Doing something completely wrong. And then we got the two action Chichiro. This card's freaking real good. You play it, two action, when played, draw a card. He instantly replaces himself. Run this at 2 of. And if on front line, you may discard one card from your hand, and all Chichiro, Rikari, and Toto gain 1,000. So he buff everyone to a 5K, and you can just swing all day.
And
And then for his
then,
other
yeah, the other
main,
effect.
if you discard one card from your hand, this card gains impact, which
So
can finish
good.
out.
Pretty crucial to see into like some of the big matchups that are like 5K bodies, right? Because then now they can't get the free blocks in. That Chichiro makes it where the 5K decks, like even though this is mainly a 4K deck with some buffs to boost like the threes and your fours, it definitely makes sure that you can swing in and get the damage off. And it's a get trigger, right? So even though you're only 2 copies, you will most likely see it in the game, at least one copy of it.
Yeah, there were some occasions where I just had to play it. I didn't have no other effects. I wanted to keep it, but if I didn't, I was gonna take more damage
Mm-hmm.
and get that card draw. Try to see that double gen. That's what I'm trying to get to. If I get one double gen, I can play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And for the final card, I mean, of course, you run 4 specials, 4 finals. Sometimes you can bump the finals down, but usually run them at 4. But we got the main guy, the
Shishiro.
5 cost
It's a
raid.
good card.
On play, I may discard one card from my hand. If I do, this card gains when attacking, pop a 4K pretty much once per turn. And his active main is if I discard 3 cards from my hand, this card gains double attack. Which the first effect doesn't go off twice because it says once per turn, but it's still a double attack that you can constantly get. It's not just a one-time thing, like with the Bradley and with other cards.
Yeah. It does cost 3 cards, but if you have the setup with the other card, then it's really just trash 2 to get double attack that you can keep repeating. And it's one of the few cards in the game that, like you said, can potentially get the double attacker over and over again. Because usually at the stage of the game, you're playing him, 5 energy. You're probably AP drawing at that point in the game as well, so you can get some ways to get some cards back into your hand to get the double attacker off.
Yeah, it's real good. And this card is once per turn. You can't do this
Yes.
multiple.
Mm-hmm.
So once I get one of her on the field, I just end up trashing any of the other ones I see.
All right. How do you feel about this deck? I know you're pretty hyped on it. That's why I want to do the video with you and stuff, but I feel
This
like a lot
deck,
of people played the Kagurabachis in the tournament that Sunday, which surprised me, which is cool too. But why do you like this deck so much? What is it? What about the deck?
this
What's the play style?
has so much, like so much, but a lot of filtering to get to your pieces, especially with the 2 drop Akari. You're filtering all through your deck, and you have this card that just shuts down tempo that your enemy is trying to set when he's pushing the characters back, and then we're popping your main stuff, and then you're getting extra attack in when you play this onto the field. There's so much stuff going on into this deck that it's pretty good. A lot of filtering, a lot of draw one pitch ones. We got 4, 5, 6, 7 draw one pitch ones, and then we got filtering.
You just
I just
have
really
so
enjoy.
many 4Ks too. Like you have 8, 9, 10, 14 base 4Ks in the deck too, which is a lot more than a lot of other decks can run, right? Like most decks have maybe 8 to 10 4Ks. So to have that many, at the end of the day, sometimes too, if you don't see your pieces, you can just hard play these characters and having 4K bodies out. It's just like you know, the game is getting faster, and it's just like Renji Rush, but with FX on your cards that actually do some really good things. Because
Yeah,
it's a lot of 4Ks. Like a lot of decks can't run this many 4Ks in their decks, and it's really really
yeah.
strong.
To get to like the standings of my top 6 placements, my first game was against Red Eva, and like you said, don't let Red Eva get you below 5. So
That's right. Don't do it.
I was sticking true to that, playing my stuff up front, trying to set my line, and make sure that he's not trying to get down to 5 at least.
How did that matchup go then? Like if that was your first one, like you just blocked out,
So,
didn't go down
no,
to
no,
5.
yeah, I didn't go down to 5, but I did get down to 1 health left.
Oh no.
So it was his turn. It was his turn. He just raw rated the 7 drop. It just impact. He raided at the last turn, so he had 2 cards under it. He hit me twice, got me down to 3, and I had 2 Chichiro draw one pitch ones, a 25 up my front line, and then he raided another 7 drop and had 4 cards under him. And so I had these 2 up here. I had to block out, and then I was left to 1 health left, and he pitched it to me. I had no front line. All I had was, I believe, a draw one, pitch one, her, and somebody else. I forgot who, but I only had 3 characters, and he only had 2 blockers, and he was at 1 health. So I ended up
Oh,
pushing.
nice.
I pushed up everything, and then took the win.
Do you like that matchup? Do you feel like this deck plays pretty well into that, or you think it's like even or not in your favor?
I would say it's not in my favor
No, I
to
mean that's one
to
of the
win.
strongest decks in the game. Like we both
Yeah,
believe that like Red Ava is
yeah.
really
That
really
deck,
powerful.
that's another deck I love playing. Dude, that's such a fun deck. You just gotta try to get in that early damage and not go down to 5.
Well, what did you say was the difference in that game for you to be able to do it? Like him not seeing the full setup, or did you apply enough like pressure
He's
early? Like how were you able
he's
to win that game?
he's seen the full setup during
Oh,
when I was low,
gotcha.
and just blocking, knowing when to block out, knowing when to kill stuff. Because I killed 2 double blockers with Chichiro,
Oh
and
yeah.
so he's getting there, but he was missing 1 card. He was, guess what card he was missing? Get
The one drop ray that people run
no,
3 copies of. No?
no, it's the 2 drop.
Or
She's a
two
two
drop,
drop.
sorry. Yeah, the two drop. The one with no trigger.
Yes, he did
Yeah,
not
because
see.
a lot of people go down to 2 or 3 copies of that one, and
I
then
did not, dude, not me. I
yeah, it's risky.
need.
Me neither. I mean, you saw I
If
did
that was
the deck profile for Joey, and he's also at 3, but he's also like really good pilot of the deck, so maybe he could range around it too. But I'd rather just have 4 copies of all the rays to make sure I'm not randomly missing out on one.
yeah, but it was a good it was a good game, dude. It was 1 health. We were going back and forth, back and forth.
What about
And
the second game?
the second game, I went against Purple Eva, the 7 drop, but he had a mix of Evangelion 13 in it,
So
and I got.
Spear and 13
Yep,
together.
yep, yep.
Which is the initial way I had the deck built when I built it, because I was trying to build 13 and I had the extra spears. And it is a fun way to play the deck, but it does make some turns awkward for it. How did that game go?
That game, he didn't see energy at all. He didn't even get a spear out. I don't think
Oh, wow.
he had all his specials in hand though. He just kept specialing me over and over. He had all 4, I believe,
Oh, wow.
but he
Specials are
didn't see.
cool, but if they're in your hand and your opponent's swinging a body, each of those bodies that you killed already took 1 life. So, not essential for sure.
Yeah. So
How do you like
he
this
was.
matchup outside of that person bricking, though? Like this into Spear? I feel like this would be a little bit better, no?
Yeah, because I can sideline everything else besides the 5K. That's why in other games I would discard my special when I'm gonna pop someone with Chichiro, but in that matchup I have to keep my specials in hand for I can get rid of the 5K.
Yeah, get rid of the 5K so that way you can actually get
Or
your
if I
swings
have
in.
or I can swing over it with the main Chichiro two action because I buff everyone by 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only way I can fare into that matchup. But I think it can go either way at some points because I'm sidelining everything else. Everything else is gone.
Gotcha.
I can push stuff back, mess up his energy, make him have to burn AP to play something else in its place.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think the Hikari just gives you a really good matchup into that deck. I would imagine, just because even then too, like say they do get to the 5 drop, or if they don't get to it early in the game and they're just sitting on the wonders, you could push the wonder back and now you're keeping them even further from being able to try to find the cards that they need to get the full combo and energy lineup. And against Spear, messing with their energy line is an easy way to mess them up for sure.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a pretty solid matchup. So what about your next matchup, round
My
3?
next my next 3 matchups was against Yellow Eva. The third match, I was bricked, dude. I didn't see
It was the
nothing, dude.
game that we had you on stream. Yeah, we saw that
The
you
third,
you
the
bricked up
third
pretty
game.
hard.
I had 3 of these dudes in my hand. Couldn't play one, dude. At point, I was just gonna play them. I was gonna just
Yeah,
play
just play
them.
them out. I've
I
I
couldn't.
have seen in other people's lists that they do like a 3-3 split on the Chicharos, like a 3 of the 5 and a 3 of the 4. Did a game like that make you maybe think that you might want to switch it up, or you still just the five is just so good?
It's so good. I need the tinker with the other stuff. I feel like the main cards have to stay.
Yeah, those 8 or 12 cards are so good. Those are very important.
Cannot I cannot get rid of these cards. I've been
Nuh-uh.
thinking about it. Cannot. Yeah.
But you
Have
have
to
to have the
mess
names out too. Like that's the essential part of the deck.
think about going down on one final, bro.
One final, maybe have to.
Not one final, but we'll figure out something, bro.
So you bricked in the third round
Yeah.
against the
So lost
yellow
that.
Ava ladies, and then the fourth round you played yellow
Yep.
again.
Yep. And he's seen everything, dude. I couldn't. Life was perfect, dude. Resting everything, then playing her out. What's her name again?
The Oscar from Life.
Asuka,
Yeah, if they hit Oscar in Life, it's GG for
and
sure.
then playing her again, especially, and he just seen her. He's seen perfect, dude. And I felt like I wasn't seeing the pieces at the right time.
And
But
then fifth round, same thing, right? Another yellow Ava lady, but you did win
the
this one.
fourth the fourth round,
The
I
fourth
lost
round?
again. Another one, I lost to another one,
What
and
did
then the
you?
fifth round, I beat the yellow Ava
Gotcha. So you went
finally.
1 and 2 against the yellow Ava. What's the difference in the matchup then? Like one game you brick, second game they saw the nuts, and then third game, how did that one go?
It was pretty even. It was back and forth. I just posted a YouTube video on going against the same deck and seeing evenly the match can go either way. Either way, if it's even, because I feel like it's a 50-50, to be honest
Would
with
you
you.
say out of the three Ava decks, like that one is more even? You're probably favored into Spear, and then the red
All
Ava's
right,
probably not.
Red Eva is dangerous, dude.
What are the
You know,
keys into the matchup against like yellow? What is it that you're trying to see? I'd imagine like the same thing is every matchup, right? If you see a Kari and
yeah,
can push back the right character.
I just push them all back, and you're pretty much trying to hold Chichiro like a snipe. You're trying to be patient. You're not trying to just throw them out there and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna sideline this not important card." You gotta wait for the Mari, and sometimes you don't want to sideline the Ray. Sometimes when I'm into that matchup, I try to push the Ray back,
Yeah, push the right back.
move a card, and then I'll sideline the Mari, and then
You can keep tempo against that deck too, pretty evenly. A lot of other decks don't have so many 3K bodies, but even just from the cards that you have tapped up on the side at the top of the screen there, like that's like what 10, 11, 12, or
yeah, yeah.
like 10 to 12 like 3K bodies, and a lot of 2Ks too, and a lot of the smaller bodies in the yellow Ava ladies is you can get through them and over them. So I think that probably helps out a little bit.
But it was fun. It was very fun, very good experience. That was my first time playing in the Rumble Warma.
I'm glad you did it. I try to get a lot of people to do it. All right. So overall, how do you feel about this deck, man? You feel like it's going to be a good deck? Do you think it's going to make a splash in the meta? I know that you play a lot of different decks, but I definitely wanted to talk about
Yeah,
this one because I'm trying to give the Kagurabachi some love for sure.
I feel like this deck can play. I just need to play with the numbers and try to figure out like the best way to be optimal of trying to get the double gen. If I don't see the double gen, dude, I feel like I cannot play the game. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm.
It is still a new deck, right? So it's going to take time. Like
Yeah,
you've only had a week and barely a couple days
yeah,
to really test into it. So you'll be able to find the lines and figure out which characters you can cut and which ones you definitely can't.
yeah. But I know for sure the main
Yeah, the
cards are
main
not.
the all the main 4Ks have to stay in. Uh, what is something that you were talking about wanting to add or take out of the deck? I know we talked about it earlier. So what are some of the cards that aren't currently in the deck, but you think that are some that people need to be thinking about for their deck building going into the future?
I really love his dad, dude. That way, hold up. When this card is sidelined by a Chicho, you get to draw a card, and it's not like the card from Kenshin where it's an event, right? That
Yeah, some
here's some.
some people are torn between that card because it's not a body on board, but at least this card can present a body for you to like at least generate an energy at some point, and then if it gets trashed, I do think that this is the main card. If it had a trigger, uh,
Dude, if this card had a
had a
trigger,
trigger would be essential
or
in the deck. You probably run out of four of if it was a get or a draw or an active. And I think they did hurt that card a lot because that card seems very essential to be wanting a place in the deck, but they didn't give it a trigger and it doesn't have any namesake that helps you with the other cards. But I think
That
that
is,
is a card that a lot of people probably gonna have to test with going forward.
and then the zero switch to resting, generate two energy.
Yes,
I would love to put this in there, but it's not a name and it doesn't have no trigger.
doesn't have a trigger, but it would help you get to the energy because five is a curve. Like trying to get to five can be a hard time, especially if there's other decks that are messing with your energy line, right? So
Yeah, I would say a two of.
yeah, you could probably try to find a way to go down on some of the names, maybe try to fit it in there.
And then we got another Chichiro when it's a pitch card from one hand and this card generates energy. But just that no trigger, dude. That no
Oh, so you
trigger
don't
be
run any copies of that? I forgot about that one.
yeah, this
Oh, I
zero
think this
copy.
is definitely the one that has to try to go in here somewhere. I forgot about this card, but it seems that it's a name. It's got a good baseline, but you do have to trash a card, right? So that'd make it a
I can
little
get
bit different. Yeah.
I can get it back.
Yeah, so trash a card, generate an extra energy, get the card back that you trash, and then what's the next card?
We got Hakari. It's a if Chichiro's on the field or a Togo, this card gains 1,000, and it's a draw trigger and it's a 3K. I was thinking about like a because there's been instances where I don't see Hakari at all. Like I was thinking about
Yeah,
running like a 2-2 of the draw one pitch one and this card.
gotcha. I can see that card making a difference too, just having a trigger. It does seem tough that like you want to run a lot of cards that have triggers because there's already a couple in it that don't have triggers, right? Which is the one drop Chichiru that you run.
Yep,
But
yep.
I think
The
outside of
one.
that, that's the only one that you run at the moment that doesn't have a
And I,
trigger, right?
and I feel like he be sticking to my life, man.
Yeah. All right. Anything else that you want to say about the deck? We went over your matchups, what all the cards do, some of the supplements into it, but is there anything else that you have to say about the deck?
Chichiro's pretty good. I
Yeah,
love this deck.
I think it's a good deck too, man. I hope that a lot more people give these decks a chance, and I do think there is some room for each of them to kind of have their place to shine. There's a lot of different ways to build each deck, and I think over time we'll see that these decks start to do a little bit more. But tell everybody again where they can find you, where your channel is, and I'll be sure to get a link from you to put in the description of the video.
Yep, on YouTube, Mad capital M Magic capital M, no spaces, UA. Both of those are capitalized UA. That's where you can find me.
All right, sounds good, man. I appreciate it, dude.